Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack some fascinating sources and hopefully bring you some compelling insights.
Looking forward to it.
So, today we're looking at something a bit paradoxical, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
The plant Cataria Nepata catnip. We all know it for, well, making cats go wild.
Playful frenzy is a good way to put it.
Exactly. But it turns out it has this other life, a really calm, quite important role in human homeopathic remedies, especially for kids.
It really is fascinating, that complete switch from, the euphoric cat image to a human remedy.
So our mission today is really to dig into that specifically through William Boericke's big work, the Homeopathic Materia Medica, and see what he says about catnip.
Yeah, Boericke's Materia Medica is, well, it's pretty much the foundational reference guide in homeopathy. It lists all the remedies, what they're used for, the specifics, and catnip is right in there with some surprising uses.
And what jumps out straight away reading the source is how it's categorized, right?
Mhm.
It's labeled right at the top, children's remedy.
Explicit.
So, we're not talking about giving catnip tea to your teenager to help them focus or anything like that.
No, this is very much aimed at the little ones, often for those really common, sometimes quite distressing childhood things.
And Boericke gets very specific, doesn't he?
Incredibly precise. He mainly points to Cataria Nepeta for colic in children.
Okay, colic. That's huge for parents.
It is. But interestingly, while he flags it primarily for children, he also lists it for things like nervous headache and hysteria.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which kind of suggests it might have a wider effect on agitated states, perhaps even in adults, though the main focus is kids.
But focusing on the colic for a moment, something so many parents struggle with, it's amazing to think of catnip being considered.
It really is.
And Boericke doesn't just say colic, he describes it. The source talks about the pain, the babies flexing their thighs right up to their abdomen.
Yes, that characteristic movement.
And twisting their body and just crying persistently. It's such a vivid description of distress.
It absolutely is. And if you think about it, those are classic signs of, well, intense discomfort and agitation, particularly in infants. It really points towards a remedy meant to soothe, to calm things down quite deeply.
Makes sense.
And what's also quite insightful is that Boericke notes how similar it is symptom-wise to a couple of other well-known homeopathic remedies.
Which ones?
Chamomilla and Magnus Foss.
Ah, okay. Chamomile is very common for irritable babies.
Exactly. And this comparison isn't just like a side note, it's significant in homeopathy. It means if a child's colic comes with extreme irritability or restlessness or certain types of cramping pains that maybe feel better with pressure or warmth,
Right.
then catnip might be considered right alongside these others that treat similar symptom patterns. It really highlights how homeopathy is all about matching the individual's specific symptoms, not just the general label like colic.
The comparison really clicks, especially with chamomilla, given how often that's used for those fractious colicky babies. It shows catnip has its own specific place in that homeopathic toolkit.
Precisely, it's nuanced.
And Boericke even mentions dosage, right? For people wondering about the practical side,
He does. He suggests 5 to 10 drops of the tincture.
which is usually a liquid extract.
Yes, typically an alcohol-based extract, and in homeopathy, often highly diluted, depending on the preparation method used.
What stands out to me is just how detailed it all is, the symptoms, these comparisons. It's not just catnip is calming.
Not at all. It's a remedy tied to a very specific set of how that discomfort shows up. That structured symptom matching approach. That's pure homeopathy.
Yeah.
And it shows how this tradition often looks past, the most obvious effect of a plant like catnip's stimulating effect on cats, and focuses instead on its unique symptom picture, what some might call its energetic profile.
So Boericke seems to be linking catnip to these specific patterns of nervous agitation and physical distress, mainly in children.
That seems to be the core of it, based on his entry.
So if we sort of zoom out, what's the takeaway here for us, for you listening?
Well, I think it's that a plant most of us associate purely with feline fun
All right, just cats rolling around.
actually has this documented historical place in human medicine, specifically as a homeopathic option for some really common, tough childhood issues, and maybe even for other agitated states.
It's a pretty powerful reminder, isn't it, that the plant world is full of surprises, and different medical traditions have found really unique ways to tap into them.
Absolutely. It kind of encourages you to challenge your first thought, your immediate association with the plant, and think broader historically.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how they figured all this out back then, documenting these remedies in such detail.
It really does. So maybe the next time you see some catnip, you won't just think of playful cats.
Perhaps you'll remember its other, quieter history.
As a children's remedy,
Yeah.
it definitely makes you think. What other everyday plants might have surprising uses just waiting to be rediscovered, or maybe just hiding right under our noses?